The Researcher Who Survived SCP-096. The SCP Foundation has documented countless encounters with SCP-096. Every one of them ends the same way: death. Once someone sees SCP-096's face, the creature becomes aware of them. And once it becomes aware of them, it comes. No wall can stop it, no bunker can hide you, no army can save you. The Foundation had never recorded a single exception until Dr. Elias Kane. Dr. Elias Kane was a data analyst assigned to Site-42. His job was simple: review archived files, verify records, report inconsistencies. Most of his work involved staring at old documents and surveillance footage for hours at a time. On the night of October 17th, that routine ended. At approximately 2:17 a.m., Elias was reviewing a collection of restricted SCP-096 files. The archive had been accessed hundreds of times before without incident. Then a corrupted image appeared. The photograph flashed across his monitor for a second, just long enough to make him freeze. The image disappeared. The archive continued normally. For several moments he sat motionless. Then he reached for the emergency phone. "Site security, I think there may have been an exposure event," he reported. Within minutes the Foundation initiated containment protocols. The corrupted image was isolated. The archive was shut down. Everything pointed to the same conclusion. Dr. Elias Kane had almost certainly viewed SCP-096's face. Nobody said it aloud, nobody needed to. Everyone in the room knew what that meant. Elias was dead. He just didn't know when. 3 hours later, a report arrived from SCP-096 containment site. The containment chamber was empty. The creature had escaped. Panic spread through Site-42. Emergency lockdown procedures were activated. Personnel were evacuated from multiple sectors. Armed response teams were deployed throughout the facility. Every camera was redirected toward possible entry points. Meanwhile, Elias was placed inside a reinforced observation room. There was little point. Everyone knew SCP-096 would reach him eventually. The room wasn't meant to stop the creature, it was meant to record what happened. Then they waited. 12 hours after the exposure event, SCP-096 arrived. Security cameras captured every second. The creature entered the facility, passed through multiple barriers, ignored every obstacle placed before it, and moved directly toward Elias. Researchers watching the cameras prepared themselves for the inevitable. Then SCP-096 stopped outside the observation room, just meters from its target. It stood perfectly still. Not screaming. Not pounding against the glass. Not attempting entry. Simply standing there. Watching. Inside the room, Elias stared back. Neither moved. Neither reacted. An hour passed. Then 2. Then 4. Then 6. The creature remained motionless. And then, without warning, SCP-096 turned around and left. No attack. No breach. No casualties. Dr. Elias Kane was alive. The Foundation immediately launched a full investigation. The footage was reviewed hundreds of times. Medical records were examined. Researchers searched for any explanation. Weeks passed but no answers emerged. Then one junior researcher discovered a detail buried deep within Elias's personnel file. A medical report. Several years old. Easy to overlook. The report documented a rare neurological condition: prosopagnosia. Researchers initially dismissed it. Then they read further. And everything changed. Dr. Kane's eyesight was perfectly normal. But his brain processed faces differently from most people. He could see eyes, a nose, a mouth, individual features. Yet he often could not recognize a face as a face. Instead, he identified people through their voices, clothing, posture, and other details. The implications were staggering. The Foundation had always assumed SCP-096 reacted when its face was seen. But what if that assumption was incomplete? What if seeing wasn't enough? What if the mind had to recognize what it was looking at? For the first time, the footage made sense. SCP-096 had come because something had happened. The exposure had been real. But when it reached Elias, it encountered someone who had never truly recognized its face. The trigger had activated. But only partially. For 6 hours, SCP-096 stood outside the room. Not attacking. Not raging. Simply watching, as if confronted with something it had never encountered before. A viewer who wasn't really a viewer. The official report was classified immediately. Only a small number of Foundation personnel were granted access. To this day, Dr. Elias Kane remains the only known individual to survive an SCP-096 exposure event. And attached to the end of the report is a handwritten note from the lead investigator. There is a difference between seeing something and understanding what you've seen.